Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to RuckU Ramble News type stuff. Kenai, it's the dog, honestly. Go away. Oh. Get off me. Anyway, so first weekend of the Six Nations, and England stand astride, atop the Six Nations table. We squat above our opponents. Oh yes. So I wonder what this weekend will have in store for us all. There's a lot of excitement on the site. See, Martin Johnson is on there, Jono, or very possibly a Jono lookalike. Although there's not many people who put themselves up for that job, really, are there? Hey, you know, I'm a Martin Johnson lookalike. I'm sorry. Scotland, France, in order of excitement, relevance, interest. Who cares? Scotland, France. It's going to be France, isn't it? It just depends by how much. Thought the French looked good against the Irish. Back to playing with some pace. And the Scots struggling to catch and pass, which is, I think, in many teams, a prerequisite to success. To be fair to the Scots, though, not a bad pack, but still nothing in the midfield that is going to trouble the French. So, although I think they'll be gutsy, passionate, committed, all those Scottish traits, I think the French will win relatively easily. The Irish in Italy, Bergamasco is not at 9. They'll be very upset to know. Very, 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 very upset to know. He's back at 7, which will do the challenge a lot of good. The Irish, I think the problem for the Irish is a mental one. Always has been for the Irish, I know. But even in the rugby sense, played France at home, great win. Got England at home coming up, which they will relish. And they've got Italy in between. Bit of a hard one to get up for, really, if that's the right term. I think they'll win, but I'm not sure if it'll be a great game. What do I know? England, Wales, in Cardiff. It's a very special place to go, Cardiff, but it's an even more special place to leave. Yeah. Some interesting selections, aren't there? Some very, very interesting selections. Marden Williams, not bad, number 7. Probably the best in the championship. Very good on the floor. Grovelling around. Snaffling ball, cheating. Very good at that. Respect that. So we decided not to play a 7. We play 2 6s. See? 2 6s. It'll confuse the Welsh. Oh, get out of that. That's 2 6s. Fuck. Anyway. Yes, so Good still at 10. Tyndall back, like Tyndall back. But, geez, England have got to start well. I mean, there is something. Kenai, wait. Stop that. There is something special at Cardiff. It used to get us excited, more ways than one. I remember leaving there when Jack Rowell was manager. We used to stay just near Bisham Abbey in Marlow, at the hotel. And I remember this was in '97, and we were leaving to go. We were driving down. We were leaving our cars just this side of the border, so that they had tyres on and stuff when we left. And but we're all going to drive down and meet there, and then the coach was going to take us over the bridge. And we were outside the hotel, which was right Marlow, lovely, right by the side of the river. And I tell you this in all secrecy, because I walked past, everyone's getting their kit out of the wing of the hotel we were staying in. Jack Rowell's Range Rover there, there's keys in the ignition. He'd obviously gone in, but he was blocking off the path. Everyone was trying to get their cars and having to move around his car, which annoyed a few people. And someone took the keys out of his car and walked in to a couple of other players' room and said, "Guess whose keys these are?" And one of the players took the keys, threw them out of his window, straight into the river. Jack was quite delayed on his way to Wales that day. In fact, he didn't get there till late evening. Apart from that, we weren't too juvenile. But it was, yeah, got some great memories of Cardiff. And for me, the one that we need some of this. You see, we need some of. I remember we went down there in '91 and we hadn't lost, hadn't won. I mean, you go to Cardiff, and you do think, geez, the '70s they produced legends. You know, they produced Max Boyce. And so we went down there, '91, and we hadn't won for 28 years. 28 years. There were songs about it, you know, they were singing. I remember being stopped so many times, and people telling me 28 years. I didn't know the Welsh, you know, that's a big number for the Welsh. But they had learnt it. And we got down all the pressure, and to be fair, they'd been pretty good. And so we had this whole build-up, and main focus was around Paul Thorburn, who was the guy who could kick the ball from about their 22 and get 3 points. So discipline, big thing was discipline. And Wade, one of our great enforcers, but also discipline was a slight problem with him. So there'd been a big focus on Wade in the build of this game, and that's whole discipline thing. And we started off the game, and I've told stories about Richard Hill and all that sort of stuff, and it was tense. Is a word that springs to mind. It was edgy. There was a bit going on, but Wade had been incredibly disciplined for him until about 10 minutes into the second half, when it obviously got the better of him and he punched someone, and then he gave another penalty away for stamping or something like that, and they were basically marching us back down the field, given a penalty away about 10 yards from their line, punched someone, got a bit aggressive, stamped on someone, and he did a few bits, and suddenly he gave 3 penalties away in a row, and Thorburn came up to kick the ball at the post, and I was standing with Rob, and Wade was walking towards me, 6'8", 19.5 stone, big lad, hard. And I looked at him and I said, Wade, for Christ's sake, you know, you thick bastard. It sprang to mind, like that. What did we talk about all week? You know, it's discipline, this, that, and the other. I said, and what have you done? You just given 3 penalties away. I said, use your head, you bloody idiot. And I was giving him RuckU. When his expression did change, as he looked down at me, and I backed just behind Rob Andrew, who was a brave bloke, and he just looked at me, and he suddenly said, just leave me alone. God's honest truth, you see. And we need some of people like me. We need hard people out there tomorrow. People that, you know, have got it. And I just think, I'd love to be there, but I'm not sure that I would do much good. On a serious note though, it's going to be a cracker. And that was for Jono, that was my Irish accent, cracker. And I think my prediction here, and I know everyone on the site knows how good my predictions are, so I'm going for France, relatively easy win, probably by 15-20 points. Ireland the same, 15 to 20 points. But I think England-Wales will be relatively close compared to what some people are thinking. I think Eddie Butler's gone by Wales by 21. What would he know? It'll be close. Closer than you think. And that's me perched beautifully on the fence. See you next week. And if Wales do win,